Happy Mother's Day, everyone. My name is Reese, and I will be your chairperson for today's service. First, we'll have Sanbujo on page 24 in the Big Book, and then Sutra chanting Junirai on page 20 in the Little Book or page 67 in the Big Book. Please rise to sing the Gatha, I Am a Link in the Golden Chain, which is located in the third song in the yellow handout, followed by the Golden Chain, which is located on page 2 in the little book, or on page 15 in the book under Golden Chain 1. The Golden Chain. I am a link in Amita's golden chain of love, which stretches around the world. I will keep my link bright and strong. I will be kind and gentle to every living thing, and I will protect all with myself. I will think pure and beautiful thoughts, say pure and beautiful words, and do pure and beautiful deeds. May every link in Amita's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu.
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 Now, Mr. Akizuki will give this morning's Dharma message.
Please join me in Gassho and reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning in the Hondo, and thank you for those of you joining us at home on YouTube. So happy Mother's Day, everyone. So just kind of a note. So as some of you know, the CYS had planned to do a Mother's Day event in the gym. Unfortunately, like a little over a week ago, some of the acoustic panels in the gym fell. So for safety reasons, we had to close the gym until we get those repaired and the rest of them checked. So hopefully that's going to happen this week. So there was going to be no refreshments this Sunday, but some of the men who attend the adult service decided they wanted to do something for the moms. So there's donuts in the garden afterwards. And I think Gilbert may have an announcement about that afterwards. So stick around, there are refreshments for you. So this obviously is a day to recognize moms for everything they've done and continue to do for us. I think we should thank them and express our gratitude every day, but that doesn't always happen. I know that's true for me. Too often moms get overlooked. We take for granted what they do and even forget what they do for us. So I had planned to talk about two moms who are responsible for us being here, Eshini and Kakushini. And anybody know who Eshini and Kakushini were? Yes?
I think they were people who helped out the Buddha.
No, well, yes, they did. Anybody? Eshini is Shinran's. Oh, yes, Reese. Very good. She was one of my Padma students. I wish I could claim, but I think the Dharma school teachers did a really good job. Thank you, Reese. So yeah, Eshini is Shinran's wife, and Kakushini was Shinran's youngest daughter. And they kind of are responsible for kind of like we're being here because of things they did. Sometimes Eshini is referred to as the mother of the Honganji, but I think actually Kakushini could be referred to as the mother of Honganji. But I had written this talk about Eshini and Kakushini, and then I wasn't sure about, was this really the right thing to talk about? And then yesterday, I was talking to a member of the Sangha about something else, and he was kind of saying, well, you know, we have too many history lessons in Dharma talks, and what the Sangha needs is to talk about things that help make us better Buddhists and to help us live a happier life and reflect upon, you know, our lives today. So, you know what, I kind of agree with him. So I went back and rewrote this talk, except for that, the introduction to this point. And I was going to just say, here it is, and I was going to throw it out, but very theatrically, but that would be kind of wasteful of all printing it out, a separate one out, so I didn't do that. So, you know, and I'll preface this to say my mom was a wonderful woman. Some people knew my mom. She was very generous and open and very funny, and people loved her. But then your mom has a different kind of relationship with you, right? Especially if you have Nisei moms. I think Nisei moms are a little bit not as demonstrative and very kind of like maybe a little hard on you sometimes. And so because of this, I wasn't very good about appreciating my own mom when she was alive. Does anybody have issues with your mom over your lifetime? Be honest. Okay, yeah. So I had issues with my mom. You know, I was kind of an underachiever in high school. Grades were okay. I knew I could do better. My mom knew I could do better, and she was on my case about this. So she, especially in high school, she was kind of like, and this is how it manifested itself, right? She would say, boy, you'd be lucky to get into San Jose State University. You'd be lucky to get into San Jose City College. And she would say this repeatedly, right? So kind of like, this is in my mind all the time. And she wanted me to be an attorney, right? But I had no interest in studying law. And she kept on asking me, don't you want to be an attorney? And she said this over and over again, right? So I was and am still interested in like writing and music more than the law and being in a courtroom. And so I was interested in journalism. I was a journalism major in college, worked in the news industry for 43 years. But, you know, I can't, you know, and I wrote stories that appeared in the Mercury News and things, but I can't recall my mom ever saying much about anything that I wrote, right? So this is kind of like a backdrop, like pushing me, and then I do something. Maybe she she didn't want me to go in this profession, but so she didn't say anything. So, but in the last years of her life, you know, she was very negative about things. She was unhappy she couldn't physically cook or drive or go on walks as she did for many years. She knew her memory was fading, and she's very depressed and even angry about that. And this is kind of like what I had, you know. Every time I saw her, she'd just say, oh, I'm just going downhill, down. Very depressing. But several times, kind of out of the blue, she kind of blurted out, I'm proud of you. And it's like, what? After all of these years, it's like, it was so surprising, I didn't know how to react. And I don't think I said anything. I just kind of like, okay. So in 2021, I decided I was going to retire and set April 30th, 2022 is my last day at work. So on April 1st, 2022, my mom died in her sleep. So that 1 month, they had these two huge events, two traumatic events in my life, things that changed, right? And so since their passing, I kind of reflected a little bit differently about my mom and my relationship with her, right? And I kind of come to realize her influence on my life was very profound, right? And one thing, do you remember advice that your mom has given you? Pieces of advice, and it's kind of like it replays in your mind over and over again? Okay, so there's 3 things that come to mind immediately that my mom said to me. So she would say the first time after it rained, this is after I started driving, right? It rains for the first time, my mom would warn me, be careful when you drive because after the first rain, the roads are slick because, of all of the dirt and the grime and everything on it. So she'd say that. So I remember that every time it rains. Be careful, the roads are going to be slick. She would also say that if you loan money to a friend, don't expect to ever get it back, right? She would say that to me repeatedly. So I think she said this because, to avoid losing a friendship over money. And so that's something I remembered. And here's one that I remembered and thought about more than any other piece of advice she ever gave me. She said, whatever you do in life, try your hardest. Whatever you do in life, try your hardest. So that would be kind of like, it was on repeat in my mind whenever I started a new job or a new assignment or had a new activity at church. Those things kind of like, so those pieces of advice kind of like, especially since her passing, I kind of replay those kind of things in my mind. So I think because of my mom saying you'd be lucky to get to San Jose City College, I decided to aim high, right? Applied to UC Berkeley. I didn't know much about the school. Initially, I didn't even know how to spell it correctly. I spelled it Berkley. It's Berkeley, right? So fortunately, and I mean fortunately, I got into Cal. And a lot of that, I think, was based on my mom pushing me and also recommendations. I got really good recommendations from a couple of my high school teachers. One of my high school teachers was Helen Mineta. That's Norman Mineta's sister. Norman Mineta was a council member and a congressman, and she was a civics teacher at my high school. And my English teacher, Saxton Pope. Saxton Pope turned out was also, both of these teachers went to Cal, UC Berkeley. So Saxton Pope, my English teacher, he was the grandson of somebody who was a famous doctor and outdoorsman. So Saxton Pope, you look it up, Saxton, Saxton Pope. You could look up his grandfather. So my mom was a catalyst for me wanting to go to Cal, which I got in, turned out to be, probably the most formative and most influential, period of my life, those 4 years there. And then after lately, again, I find myself reacting to a situation like, well, what would she do? How would she react? What would she say? And I wish I could give you examples of this, but I couldn't really think of anything. Reflecting on Mother's Day in Jodo Shinshu, I kind of I refer to my friend AI, artificial intelligence. So Mother's Day in Jodo Shinshu, and here's what I's overview said. In Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, Mother's Day is a time to express profound gratitude, recognizing mothers and nurturing figures as embodiments of Amida Buddha's boundless, unconditional compassion. It is a day to reflect on nurturing love that connects us to the Dharma and to honor the parental love of the Buddha. So I would add to that, again, I think, we say, express our gratitude to your mom, right? Say thank you. But I think it's not just a reflexive thing. I think you kind of have to kind of realize all of the things that they've done to influence you, right? Even though you may not realize those influences when you're younger, or even a young adult or an older adult or 70 years old, plus years old like me. So I think, certainly for me, those kind of influences are a lot clearer now than they were even a few years ago. And if I could relive one of the moments in my life, it'd be when she said, "I'm proud of you," And I didn't say anything, and I wish I should have said, thanks, Mom. Thanks for everything you did for me. But of course, that didn't happen. And so to those of you out there, I think those of you who are moms are still alive, I hope you would take advantage of similar moments in your life and use things in your life and those opportunities that come up to express your gratitude to your mom and to think about the influences that they have on you and continue to have on you every day. Please join me in Gassho and reciting Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandabutsu. Namandabutsu. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Akizuki. Please rise to sing the Gatha Sayonara on page 103 in the Little Book, followed by the promise located on page 5 in the Little Book or page 15 in the Big Book.
Sayonara sen sango kigenyo. Sayonara sensei o daiji ni. Tanoshii kondo no tsuroi made.
The promise. We thank the Buddha for showing us the way to freedom. We will endeavor to walk in his noble path every day of our lives. Namo Buddha Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Buddha Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Namo Buddha Butsu.
Namo Amida.
Thank you to Rinban Adams, Reverend Jones, Mr. Akizuki, Mr. Rolling, Organist Mr. Yoshihara, and AV Tech Mr. Uenaka. Are there any other announcements?
So since I'm standing here, I'll go ahead. So on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, we will have our next installment of Living a Shin Life in a Period of Uncertainty and Fear. And we'll have a special guest speaker, Reverend Blaine Higa from the Kona Temple. He will be joining via Zoom. He's not here in person. We would like to get the last sign-ups together. We've got a good group of people already signed up, but so we will hold it in person and online. I wasn't sure we would have enough people here, but we now have enough people here to go ahead and do it in person and online. But please sign up. There are flyers on the boards outside. You can use the code here to sign up for it. So hope to see you there. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sarah.
And I'm Helen.
And we're TAs for the Dharma School classes. We just wanted to let you know that you guys probably got an email earlier this week regarding Obon shift signups for Dharma School, the soda booths. We just want to let you know, please sign up. I think we have, we'll send out, a reminder to each of the classes. Thank you.
Good morning. Happy Mother's Day for you mothers out there. I've got to give them second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and high school classes. We're going to be meeting upstairs in the 6th Street building. So we will be working on some of the songs that these classes will be singing with the junior choir for the upcoming recital. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers out there. And like Dennis's mom, I didn't ever tell my kids to be a lawyer, okay? And in fact, my thing was, well, we could use a doctor in our family, but I never encouraged anything. And then what happens? My son becomes a lawyer. And so anyway, Just to let you know that, again, the ceilings are falling in the gym, or was falling, and so please don't go through the gym. Okay, everything should be going through the gates or in and from the patio area. Okay, and snacks will be in the patio area. Okay, I think that was it. Thank you.
A couple of other things. Next week, we'll have the infant presentation. If you haven't already signed up, I believe we still will allow people to sign up. I'm looking over at Elaine because she's, yes, so good. So there are forms, or you can sign up online. And this is the first introduction of somebody less than a year old, usually, to our temple. And then also, if you haven't seen an email already, starting May 18th, so not this tomorrow, but the week after Monday, this parking lot across the street will be cordoned off, and you won't be able to park across the street for about the next year while we start work on the project. So just want to make sure everybody is aware of that. So it'll be 2 weeks that'll affect services. So, but in 2 weeks, come a little earlier so you can find a place to park. All right, thanks.
So I was expecting Gilbert to give the announcement. So yeah, so there's refreshments in the garden, donuts and coffee, and this is, again, a couple of the men who attend the adult service. They decided to do this kind of like on the spur of the moment, so it came together very quickly. So there are donuts and coffee, and there's a surprise for the moms. And so please join us after service in the garden.
Before everyone leaves the temple, please straighten all the books for the next service. Those of you who are interested are welcome to attend the adult English service following this service. There is also a Japanese language service that will begin right after the English service. For your safety, please obey the crossing guards and look both ways before crossing the street. Thank you for attending today's service, and happy Mother's Day.
Wait, actually, we don't because we have two teachers. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Mother's Day for all you mothers out there. So I'm glad we're able to make it out today. I'm Kevin Kitagawa, and I'll be your chairperson for today's service. Before we begin this morning service, just a reminder, no food or drinks in the hondo, and if you could actually place your phones in either silent or turn them off, be much appreciated. Thank you. So we'll begin this morning's service with Sanbujo on page 24 in the large service book, followed by Sutra chanting Juseige on page 23 in the small Dharma school service book. Okay, and page 93 in the large service book. And the page numbers for the sutras should be displayed on the front screen when we start those up, and on your monitors at home for those of you on YouTube. Okay, would you please rise for the Gatha Shinshu Shuka on page 216 in the large service book? And please remain standing for the three treasures, which will be on page 3 in the small Dharma school service book.
Namo Amirutsu. Namo Amirutsu. Namo Amirutsu. Namanda. Please be seated. Three treasures. Getting ahead of myself here. Okay, you can all stand up again. Yes. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. I'm out of practice, I guess. Okay, but now I have to find the three treasures. It's hiding on me. Okay. Sorry about that. Hard is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One. Now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Now you may be seated.
Okay, and now Reverend Jones will give this morning's Dharma talk.
Should have waited for my cue. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining us, attending here today. And for those of you online watching from home, we really appreciate it. We appreciate you taking the time out to hear the Dharma. And happy Mother's Day to all the moms. This is your special day, and I hope everyone has already wished their mom a happy Mother's Day. It's a great day to remember and think about all of the things that our mothers do for us. Even better, it's a day when we should do some of these things for her. Laundry, cleaning, cooking, you know the list. So take time to make sure that mom knows you appreciate her today. And if you really want a good Mother's Day talk, go back and listen to Mr. Akizuki's talk from the 9:30 service. So it was a very nice Mother's Day talk and very heartfelt. And I had the pleasure of knowing his mom, and she was a special person. And I think about what you said about the Nisei moms, and my mother-in-law was that way, but I have no complaints. She treated me like royalty, much to my wife's dismay. And so my mother-in-law was a wonderful mom. And I'm also very happy to have three wonderful moms in my life right now between my wife and my daughter and my daughter-in-law. So I couldn't be happier. So where I'd like to start today is a reading from the Gabunsho. The Gabunsho are letters written by Renyo, and often referred to, Renyo is often referred to as the second founder. His image is to the left of Amida on the back wall there. The letter I want to read is called Shonin Ichiru no Sho. It's in the large purple book, if you want to follow along on page 140. The title in English is shown as the chapter on teaching of Shinran Shonin. I'll read it first in Japanese and then in English. So follow along if you like. Shonin ichiru no go kanke no momuki wa shinjin no mote honto serare soro. Sono yue wa moro moro no zogyo nage sutette shin ni mide ni kimi o sureba. 不可思議の眼力として文の糧より往生は事情を指しめたもそのくらいを一年ぽきに僧女子樹とも釈しその上の称名念仏如来我が往生は定め玉井し御恩法人の念仏と心 Anakashiko, Anakashiko, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinjin. The reason is that by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the moment of Shinjin. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance in our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I remain. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you for listening to that passage from the Gonsho. When we're going through ordination, we have to do these, and we don't get a chance to do them very often. And I really enjoyed reading the Gonsho in the Japanese style. It's fun to learn, and it reminds me of people like Reverend Mikame, who spent so much time with me working on it. So I do appreciate the opportunity to do that. Usually, this box that I brought up to the board would be kept over by Renyo, and there's a ritual that goes with going and getting that box and bringing it over and so on. But I figured that might be a little long, so for you sitting here today. But in that short verse, there are many terms and concepts that can be really confusing. But I really want to focus on just one thing: entrusting. I figured entrusting, that's a good topic for Mother's Day, trust. Shinjin is a word that you probably have seen and heard before, and it is one of those terms that I mentioned that can be really confusing. For a long time, the word Shinjin was translated in English as faith. And I know I'm not alone in thinking that this is a very ineffective translation of the word, especially in our primarily Abrahamic society. And by Abrahamic, I'm talking about the three religions of Abraham, the Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Each of these religions see faith as something that a sentient being has in respect to a creator God. Because of this view of faith, many now translate Shinjin to entrusting heart. That's the translation that I like to use. But what does it mean to entrust? After all, Renyo wrote in Shonin Ichiru no Sho, by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. So I want to break that down a little bit. Abandoning all other practices. What are we really talking about here? Siddhartha, on his path to Buddhahood, chose total asceticism at first. He relinquished everything in his life and went out and tried a path towards truth that almost killed him because he barely ate, if at all. And in fact, many traditions still rely heavily on the meditation that Siddhartha practiced. Others may perform rituals in hopes of gaining merit to lead them to enlightenment. But Renyo encourages us to abandon all other practices, including trying to earn merit. But what is our practice in Jodo Shinshu? Anyone care to venture? What is our practice? Yeah? No? So sometimes people will say our practice is Nembutsu. But you may have heard that people say our practice is the practice of no practice. But saying the name, the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu, has been passed down to us from the masters of India, China, and Japan alike. Shinran's teacher Honen was a big advocate of saying the name, and Shinran as well. Honen taught his followers to say the Nembutsu frequently, continuously even. Shinran interpreted some of the teachings a little differently and instead said that saying the Nembutsu once, even hearing the Nembutsu once, was sufficient. This is where we could get into a long discussion about self-power and other power, self-power coming from us, other power from Amida. But there's something about other power I want to note. Other power comes from outside of ourselves. And that's really all you need to, it's coming from outside of ourselves. Our teachings say that Amida's other power, the power of Amida's compassionate vow that brings us to the Pure Land of enlightenment and Buddhahood. But suffice it to say that other power comes from outside of ourselves. Self-power is what we do, what we try to do to gain merit, if you will. Shinran didn't believe that sentient beings living so long after Shakyamuni Buddha's passing could understand the teachings well enough to allow us to get to the Pure Land on our own self-power. So what does all of this have to do with entrusting heart? To entrust means to put your trust in someone or something else. To entrust is to allow someone or something else to provide what we seek, in this case, enlightenment. It's to trust this external force rather than relying on ourselves. What is our intent when we say the Nembutsu? Is it making us a better person? Are we more likely to go to the Pure Land if we say it and say it more often? If we believe these things, then we're trying to achieve merit for saying Nembutsu. Jodo Shinshu teaches us that we do not need to worry about merit. Amida's other power will transfer this to us. All we need is to trust. The entrusting heart is the heart that contains no doubt about Amida's other power. The way that I interpret this is to say that we need to trust that this is simply the way the world works. Our trust is really acknowledging that we are bound for the Pure Land and all we have to do is let the world work. To stop resisting. When I stop doubting that the world works this way, I can entrust myself to the process, and I can simply say the Nembutsu in gratitude for not endearing myself to Amida or anything else. Renya wrote in his letter that Shinran taught us that we should abandon all other practices and simply entrust ourselves to Amida's other power. What I'm suggesting is that trust that this is the way the world works. Don't doubt it for a moment and simply say the Nembutsu in gratitude for the way the world works. Our self-power is really just resisting the truth. And so from a perspective of how do we use this in our everyday life, live your life. Live today. Don't worry about the future. Don't worry about what comes next. You can't worry about the past. You can't change it. Live for today. Appreciate what you have in front of you. And trust that the world works in your favor. That the world works to the extent that you will go to the Pure Land. Please join me in Gassho. By abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. Namo Amida-tsu. Namo Amida-tsu. Namo Amida-tsu. Thank you, and once again, Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, thank you, Reverend Jones. Okay, please rise for the Gatha Ondokusan II, which is on page 76 in the small Dharma School service book.
Ondokusan Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.
Okay, are there any announcements?
So this Tuesday, May 12th, we will have our next installment of the Living a Shin Life in a Period of Uncertainty and Fear with our special guest, Reverend Blaine Higa, who will be joining us via Zoom from Hawaii. So please, I'm going to cut off registration after today so we know how many are out there. There are flyers on the two easels out in front. You can use the QR code to register. So that's one. And then next week was not only Gotane, but we will also have our infant presentation. So if there is a newborn in your family that you want to introduce to the temple, there's a form that you can fill out, or you can fill it out online, and we'll have that service at 8:30 a.m. We'll ask people to get there, the families to get there a little before that to register, but we'll start the service for the infant presentation at 8:30, and then have our other services at 9:30 and 10:10. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Gilbert Greeter again. It's always my pleasure to meet our new friends. Today, we have at least 2 or 4 new visitors. First, again, we have a student from Santa Clara University, Janela and Daniel. Please rise so we can know you. Also, we have another nice couple over there. They came to our open temple and then decided to check out our service. Welcome. And they say they are original from India, so they are familiar with the term Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, so they are ahead of us. Okay, and for our new visitor, we have an afternoon service social in our garden. And so if you'd like to know more about us, I'm sure you just ask any question. One of our members will be more than glad to tell you something about our temple or our belief or our everything, our history. And talking about after service social, today is special. Originally, we received an email saying there's no Mother's Day activity, but then a group of passionate fathers and the grandfathers say, no, we have to do something for Mother's Day. So they have a special treat for our deserving mothers and the grandmothers. So don't miss it. Oh, and for anybody who understands a little bit in Nihongo, we have a Nihongo service today. So maybe after service, you have the hard choice to either go for coffee and donuts or come here for wonderful teaching in Japanese. Thank you.
I won't hold it against you if you go.
Okay, that concludes our service, and thank you very much to Rinban Adams, Reverend Jones, Dennis Akizuki, Matthew Rowling, organist Michael Yoshihara, and AV Tech Brandon Uenaka. Let's see, thanks everyone for attending this morning's service. We will now have closing Gassho. Okay, please come forward for incense offering, and then join us for either refreshments in the garden or joining us for the Japanese language service that will begin after incense offering is finalized. Thank you.
It's nice to hear Shoniichi. It's been a while, yeah.
Oh, one other announcement. So just to let you know that next week will be the last week you'll be able to park across the street. On Monday, May 18th, the contractor that's going to build a new Dharma center is scheduled to put a fence around the property, and we will no longer have access to that property. So you should make plans, not next week, the week after, for where you're going to park, how you're going to get here. So please plan ahead. Thank you. Hey, good. How are you doing?
Okay, thanks all for joining the 日本語 session. じゃあ、これから日本語、日本語ですよ。はい。日本語法要はただいまより始まりさせていただきます。Oh, would you like to offer incense? Do you want me to show you how? Oh, did you learn that? So there's a charcoal here, and so this is incense. So you just take a pinch of incense and place it on the charcoal, and then as it burns, then we do our Gassho. Good, good, good. Let me know how that works. Because I'm planning from next month, we're planning to offer some kind of AI translation. We had a presentation on that this last week. And yeah, so we have a couple options. But let me know how the Google Translate works. Yeah. じゃあ、ただいまより日本語の法要でございます。じゃあ最初はジュセイゲのお務めをいたします。ジュセイゲのお務めは、紫色の聖典の93ページにあります。何万打仏、何万打仏、何万打仏、何万打仏。Yeah, we'll have Kansho and then Juseige. Yes. Namam Dabutsu, Namam Dabutsu, Namam Dabutsu, Namam Dabutsu, Namam Dabutsu, Namam Dabutsu, Namam. 次は第三問の拝読があります。第三問は三帰依文とも同じですけれども、この紫色の聖典の6ページと7ページにございます。So we'll be reading 第三問 pages 6 and 7 of the Purple Service Book. I invite you to stand as you're able. ご起立をお願いします。第三問。人参受けがたし、今すでに受く。仏法聞きがたし、今すでに聞く。この未根性に向かってどうせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか、この身をどせん。大衆もろともに指針に三宝に帰依し、立てまつるべし。自ら仏に帰依し、立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに大道を体現して無常意を起こさん。自ら法に帰依し立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに深く教蔵に入れて知恵海のごとくならん。自ら僧に帰依し立てまつる。まさに願わくば主情とともに大衆を通りして一切無下ならん。無常人人二名の方は百千万号にも愛おうことかたし、我今検問し従事することを得たり、願わくは如来の真実義を下し立てまつらん。何万打仏、何万打仏、何万打仏、何万打仏。どうぞご着席をお願いします。はい、合唱をお願いします。釈迦弥陀は慈悲の部門、衆中に宣教方便して、我ら無常の信心を発揮せしめたまいけり。釈迦と弥陀は慈悲の深い父母である。巧みな手立てをさまざまに施とし、私たちにこの上ない真実の信心を起こさせてくださったと、何万打仏、何万。まず本日集まっていただいている母方の方に母の日おめでとうございますということでですね、本日は母の日ということは、いろいろなお母さんのことを思い出したり忍んだりする本当に一年の中の尊い日でございますね。私も自分の人生の中にお母さんがいろいろなお母さんという存在がいらっしゃいますね。一つはもちろん自分のお母さん、そして僕のおばあちゃん、母親のお母さんも深いご縁がありますけど、そして私の妻は私たちの息子3人のお母さんで、もちろん自分の生まれのお母さんは今まで大変お世話になっているけど、今は日頃にお世話になっているというと、自分の妻のことがお母さんとして、子供たちのお母さんとして大変お世話になっていますね。で、本日さっき読んだ御三代という親鸞上人の言葉は、釈迦牟尼ブッダと阿弥陀ブッダは慈悲のお父さんとお母さんであるとおっしゃいますね。それはどういうふうなお心はお父さんお母さんが持っているかとちょっと考えますと、 阿弥陀様のお心はより深く理解できると私が味わっております。で、一つの私がお母さんの心、親心という親の心を考えますと、いつも一つの妻とのエピソードを思い出します。ある時、子供3人と妻とサンマテオに住んでるんですけど、サンマテオからバークリーの方に向かってたんですね。で、ちょうど交通のラッシュの時、夜の多分5時頃だと思います。そしてベイブリッジを渡らないといけないんですね。で、その時に妻が私の隣に座って、そして三男が一番私の真後ろに座ってたんですね。もうまだ赤ちゃんだったから多分5ヶ月ぐらいの赤ちゃんでした、その時。そして三男がその隣に座って、一番後ろは次男がその隣、一番後ろは長男が座ってたんですね。で、この一応スペースが空いてるんですね。ミニバンですから、こういう一つの席とスペースが空いて、そして赤ちゃんが座ってたんですね。で、イーストベイに向かって、ちょうど交通の渋滞に当たって、で渋滞に立ったらもうゆっくりと進むことと、止まったり行ったり止まったり行ったりするんですけど、そのうちに三男が泣いてる、赤ちゃんが泣いてる。でも妻はじゃあ隣に座ってよしよしたいと思っても隣に座れない、座るところがない。だからずっと目的地を届くまでもう我慢して私の横に座って、三男の泣き声を聞いて、でも辛かったですね。で、着いたら妻はすぐに後ろからこの間に挟むシートがあるんです。で、それを出してつけて、これをつけたくてたまらなかったと言ったんです。どうしても座りたかった。で、帰りはそこに座って非常に狭い、これぐらいの幅のシート、とっても狭くて居心地が悪い、全然楽な席じゃないけど、妻にとってはその時一番楽な席だったと、一番座りたい席だった。私思ったのは、これは親の心ですね。どうしても子供に近く座りたい。普通一般的に全然楽じゃない席はその時に一番楽です。というのは、優先というのは自分が楽に座ることではなくて、子供の一番近いところに座るのが、泣いている子のもうよしよしできるところが、それが一番楽というのは親心ですね。一番苦しんでいる子の近くにいたいというのは、それは親の心です。で、これも仏様の心というふうに経典の中に書かれていますね。ある時はアジャセという方ですが、自分のお父さんお母さんにもっと若い時にすごいひどい目にあったんですね。お父さんもお母さんも一時的に刑務所に入れてしまった。非常に悪いことをしたことはある息子さんがいたんですけど、で彼がもうちょっと成長したら、自分が前やってたことは悪かったなと思って後悔したんです。後悔して、私たちも多分若い時に親に刑務所に入れなくても親にひどい目にあったんですね、私がお父さんお母さんにきつい言葉を言ったとかひどいことをやったなと、多分もう私はそういうがたくさんあるんですけど、多分全ての人は多分その思いがあるということですね。アジャセはあんまりにもお父さんお母さんにひどいことをしたから、非常に後悔して病気になったんですね。体が体調を崩して、でその病気になった時にお母さんが隣にいて、その看病を見てその手伝いをして、で非常にありがたいお母さんでした。でもその中でもどんどん体調が悪くなって、で いろいろな医者さんを呼ぶんですけど、それが治らない。で、一人のとっても優れた医者さんはギバ大臣という方が近づいたら、で、あなたが後悔して体調を崩したんですね。それは正しいです。あなたが悪いことをしたのは認めるのは、それから始まりですけど、それずっと落ち込むんじゃなくて、仏様のところに行って自分の心を整理すればいいよとギバ大臣がおっしゃるんですね。で、その時にハジャセは、いやでも私のお父さんは釈迦様のとってもいいお友達でしたから、もし私が言ったら絶対に釈迦様は私を会ってくれないでしょうと言ってたんですね。でもギバ大臣は、いや違いますよ。釈迦様ブッダはあなたのお母さんのような心を持っているんですよ。一番悩みの多い、一番闇のある子に近づく。例えばお父さんお母さんの中に7人の兄弟子供がいるんです。例えばもしその7人の兄弟に1人が病気をしたら、両親が全てを平等に愛することはあるんですけど、もちろんその病気のある子供のところに一生懸命集中して手伝おうとするんですね。夏のお母さんもそうでしょ。仏様の心もそのような心ですよ。阿弥陀様の心はそのような心です。一番悩みの多い、一番間違った道を歩んでしまった人たちに救いたいというのは阿弥陀様のお心ですね。で、その親心はいろいろなこの言葉に匠の方便をして、いろいろな工夫をして私たちを救いたいというのは仏様のお心です。この親心はよく仏様の仏弟子の中の話もあるんですね。一人はアヌルッダという仏弟子がいらっしゃったんですけど、アヌルッダのお母さんもこういうふうな匠の方便をするお心を持っていらっしゃったそうです。で、そのお母さんはいつもアヌルッダに欲しいものをあげたみたいんですね。そのお母さんは優しいお母さんだし、とても裕福な家庭です。で、ある時にアヌルッダとお友達が集まって、でサイコロの遊びをしたんですね。で、そのサイコロの遊びをやりながらじゃあ食べ物の話になったんですね。みんなちょっとお腹が減ったと思います。で、じゃあ食べ物はどこから来ると、みんながどこから来るんでしょうか。で、みんな裕福の家庭ですから、この畑とかそういうのは全然意識していない。いや、私の家にはね、台所というところがあるんですよ。で、私行ったことないんですけど、聞いた話だけど、その台所で食べ物ができて、そこから出てくるみたいですね。で、もう一人は、いや、私の家は違うんですよ。私の家は誰かが持ってくるんですよ。で、多分その持ってくる人の手の中でいつの間にか出来上がるということでしょう。で、最後アヌルッダは、いや、私の家は違います。私の家のはね、いつもこの食卓の上に、テーブルの上に大きいお椀が置いてるんですね。で、そのお椀を開けたら食べ物があるんですよ。だからその椀から出てくるんですね。というこういう大きな器から食べ物が出てくるんですね。だからそういうふうな感覚ですね。当たり前のように食べ物を考えている子たちでした。で、サイコロをやりながら、いやでもね、ちょっとね、これ面白いようにしましょう。じゃあ負けた人は他のみんなにごちそうをあげるように、そういうふうな遊びをしましょうと、みんながこう約束をして遊び出した。で、最初に負けたのはアヌルッダが負けた。で、みんながその隣にお使いがいるんですね。そのお使いの人で、そのお使いの人は、じゃあ私の母のところに行って、ね、なんかおいしいものが何あるかと、ね、母に聞いてください。 でそのお使いを行って帰ってきて、お母さんはクッキーがあると言うんですよ。じゃあクッキーを持ってくるように、でクッキーを持ってきて、でみんなクッキーを食べて、でたくさん食べて、美味しかった美味しかった、じゃあまたやりましょう。でまたやったらまたルダが負けてしまった。じゃあ今度またお使いに、じゃあお母さんに何のおいしいものがあるかと聞いてください。で聞いて帰ってきて、今度はカレーがあるんですよ。カレーおいしそう。じゃあカレーをね、お母さんと思ったのは、じゃあみんなお腹減ってるやろ、また来て、じゃあちゃんとした食事を、で家にある材料を全部使って大きなカレーを作って、でそれを持ってみんながガンガン全部食べてしまった。じゃあ次はまたやりましょう、何が出るかとみんなやって、またルダが負けてしまったんです。でじゃあお使いに、じゃあお母さんに今度何があるかと聞いてください。でじゃあお使いがいて、お母さんに聞いて、ルダまだお腹が減ってるみたいで何があるかと食べ物聞いたんです。お母さんはもう全部食べたから何もないと言ってたんですね。でお使いは帰ってきて、何もないそうです。でルダさん、よし、この何もないという料理は聞いたことないですけど食べてみよう、じゃあ何もないをお願いしますと言ったんです。でお使いが帰ってお母さんに、何もないがお願いしますということです。でお母さんはその時、分かった、この子は、ね、その何もないという存在、全部使ったら全部食べたらなくなるということは分かっていないねと思って、よし分かった、お母さんはその器をきれいに洗って蓋をしてあげた。でじゃあ何もないはこれです、食べさせてくださいとお使いに行って、で使いがこのお皿を持ってルダをあげて、今度何が入ってるか開けてみたら空っぽです、ね、で見て、みんなが分かった。その瞬間に自分の欲張りの心に気づいて、お腹いっぱいのにまだ食べようと思ってた、間違ってた心を見て、何もないが入ってるわけでもなくて、お母さんの愛情がその中に入っています。お母さんの知恵と慈悲がその中に入っています、ね、これは親鸞上人がおっしゃるその匠の方便、私たちが法を聞けるように伝えていって、でルッダはそれから聞いて心が変わって、とっても知恵の深い子供になってたんですね。で大きくなったら仏様の立派なお仏弟子になって、いつも仏様の隣にいて、ね、その正しい教えを伝えたということですね。ですので私たちがお父さんお母さん、いろいろな周りの人が私たちを正しい道を導くということですね。仏様も同じように私たちを本当の自分の心の様子を見せて、ね、自分の欲張る心とか、ね、愚かな心、ね、怒ったりする心の本当の誠の様子を見せて、でその私を捨てることはなく、ずっとその悟りの境地まで導くという深い親心を持っているのはこの阿弥陀様というお方でございます。ですからこの母の日の時にはお母さんの親心を思い出しながら、ね、仏様の深いいつも伴っていただく親心も感謝する尊いご縁ということでございます。これをもちまして本日の日本語法話を終わらせていただきます。では合唱で終わりましょう。ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナモ阿弥陀仏、ナモ阿弥陀仏、何万陀仏、何万陀仏、何万陀仏、何万陀仏。はい、これをもちまして本日の日本語法要を終了させていただきます。本日のご縁どうもありがとうございます。何万陀仏、何万陀仏。 まだるか